Ever get the feeling that some artists, they don't just make music, they like shift the whole cultural landscape?
Hmm.
That's what this deep dive is all about. We're talking American music giants, the legends. But it goes way deeper than just catchy tunes, right?
Oh, absolutely. Their impact, I mean, it echoes through like fashion,
Yeah.
social movements, art, you name it. We're talking about a whole cultural legacy.
Okay, so let's kick things off with who else? The king himself, Elvis.
Got to start with the king.
Now, everyone's heard the name, but what was it about this guy that shook up the 1950s so much? It wasn't just the music, was it? Like, take his 68 comeback special. That was huge, right?
Well, it was massive. I
Yeah.
mean, to get Elvis, you got to picture America in the 50s, super conservative.
Yeah.
Elvis explodes onto the scene, all that energy, those hip movements, it was rebellious. And musically, he's pulling from gospel, country blues, creating this new sound, like challenging what music was supposed to be.
So he's pushing boundaries, and people ate it up.
Exactly. He was a true original.
But does that kind of style still resonate today? Do you see Elvis's influence on the music scene
Oh,
now?
oh, totally. You see it everywhere. Like
Yeah.
Bruno Mars, the charisma, those dance moves. That's Elvis's DNA right there.
Yeah.
That raw talent, the way he owned the stage, that never gets old.
It's true, and it's not just the music, right? Like, Elvis made blue jeans and a leather jacket cool.
Oh, for sure. And now you've got, Billie Eilish, totally redefining style, pushing boundaries in their own way.
It's wild how these threads just keep going, you know?
Yeah, it's that spirit of, daring to be different that connects them across the decades.
Totally. Okay, speaking of groundbreaking artists, we've got to talk about Stevie Wonder, a musical prodigy from a young age. I mean, mastering all those instruments, it's inspiring.
There's really no one like him. Stevie, he's proof of what's possible, musically and just, as a person. He used his platform to speak for those who didn't have one.
Right, it's more than just the music, it's the message, too.
Exactly. Listen to Living for the City,
Yeah.
He puts you right there. Poverty, racism, he makes you feel it.
Powerful stuff. And he didn't just use his voice, right? Didn't he practically invent how we use synthesizers today?
Totally. He revolutionized the sound of pop music. Those textures, those layers, you hear it everywhere now, from hip-hop to electronica.
Wow. Just goes to show you never know how one artist can have that kind of ripple effect,
Yeah.
across genres and generations.
For sure. And that's what makes these artists so fascinating, right? They shifted the course of music history.
Exactly. And speaking of influential figures, let's switch gears a bit to another icon, Frank Sinatra, the voice. I mean, talk about cool. But he wasn't just a singer, was he? He was Hollywood, style,
Yeah.
the whole package.
Yeah, Sinatra, he was the definition of smooth. Movies, music, he did it all.
Right. He wasn't just a singer, he was a whole vibe.
Totally. From here to eternity, those roles just cemented his image, that charisma.
And the style. It's still iconic.
Oh, absolutely. That suit, the hat, it's timeless cool.
It's funny you say that. I was watching Michael Bublé the other day, and I was like, man, there's a lot of Sinatra in there.
Right. The way he sings, that big band sound, even just the way he holds himself on stage, it proves some things never go out of style.
They really don't. And speaking of style and pushing boundaries, Michael Jackson, the king of pop. Talk about redefining the concert experience, the music video, everything.
I mean, Thriller alone.
I know.
It was a cultural moment. He turned concerts into these massive spectacles, the dancing, the effects. He got that it was about more than just the music. It was a whole experience.
And the looks. The red jacket, that single glove, instantly recognizable.
He understood the power of image. And then the moonwalk, that one dance move, everyone knows it. He was blending music, dance, visuals, so ahead of his time.
And you can see his influence everywhere now, like Beyonce, The Weeknd. They've taken that energy, that showmanship.
It's all connected, right?
Yeah.
That drive to push boundaries, create a spectacle, that's Jackson's legacy.
Yeah. They were creating a feeling, a moment in time.
Exactly. And speaking of incredible voices, Whitney Houston, one of the best vocalists ever.
No question. But again, her influence, it goes beyond just the music, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, she broke down so many barriers, especially for women of color in the music industry.
Totally. And The Bodyguard, come on, that soundtrack.
Iconic.
Yeah.
She had this ability to connect with people on such an emotional level through her music, through the scream.
Goosebumps every time. And her voice, the range, the power. It's no wonder she's inspired so many artists, Mariah, Ariana Grande, even Adele.
You could hear it, that influence across genres. She set a new standard.
She really did. Okay, so we've had pop royalty, soul legends, even a taste of Hollywood. Now let's talk about the boss, Bruce Springsteen.
Ah, Springsteen.
There's something about his music, it just gets to the heart of, like, the everyday person, you know?
He's such a great storyteller. He captured that working class experience, those hopes and struggles, in a way that resonated with so many people.
Yeah, and it's not just the lyrics, it's like the energy, right? Like you're part of something when you listen to him. And his concerts, legendary, that giant stadium show people still talk about.
Oh, I bet Springsteen concerts are like that raw passion. And you can see that influence too. Bands like The Killers, Arcade Fire, they get that storytelling.
Totally. It's real, you know? Okay, so speaking of voices that resonate, we gotta talk about the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. I mean, what a voice.
Yeah.
But again, it was beyond the music, right? Civil rights icon.
Right, she was huge, musically and culturally. Like, her version of Respect, that became an anthem, especially for the African American community during a time of such change. That's the power of music.
Yeah.
One song can mean so much.
It's true, it just cuts through everything else, you know? And so many artists have been inspired by her. Beyonce, Adele, both talked about how much she meant to them.
She left such a legacy. You know, her voice, it wasn't just music, it was powerful. She broke down barriers for so many artists who came after her.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've covered what pop, soul, rock, even a little Hollywood. I don't know about you, but I feel like we've just scratched the surface here.
Oh, for sure. We can talk about these artists for days. But if there's one thing I hope people take away from this, it's that music, it's more than just sounds, you know. It's a reflection of who we are, our history, our dreams.
It's all connected. And like we keep seeing, one voice, one song can change the world.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap things up, I want to hear from you. How do you think these legends will continue to shape music in the future? Let us know. Hit us up on social media. We love hearing from you. Until next time, keep those records spinning.